Presenting Canary P.I. in The Black Lotus, a Mulgrave, a J. Henry production. When you got to stop and you got no pop, count on Schaefer's brake pads. Now with complimentary gift, fuzzy dice. Fun, fun.
A brisk wind groans through my tilted blinds like a widow's lament. The polluted air is welcomed in this stale sarcophagi of an office. Through the slats you can see the bustle of the streets below. Darkened clouds hang over my city like a blanket of vague dread. Like if you can't remember if you left the stove on or not. It's ugly out there. Ugly in here too. A nested pigeon flutters on a rusty fire escape next door. This is a harsh town. Good luck. Canary.
I have your mother on the line?
I told her not to call me yet. Alright, patch her through.
Ren Noir Panini. It's been 2 weeks since you called me. Your father has the worst case of lumbago I have ever seen. The bathroom sink won't stop dripping, and our upstairs neighbors are doing the Lindy Hop 24/7.
Sorry to hear it, Ma.
When are you gonna settle down with a nice girl? Come on. You're an eligible bachelor, self-employed, thriving business.
Working on it, Ma.
You're not getting any younger, and I want grandkids.
Look, I'm working here, Ma.
Oh, sure. Mr. Important can't give his mother 5 minutes of his time. Reminds me of the time when Aunt Ruby's wig caught fire at the eggnog social. You see, what happened was that...
I'll call you next week, Ma.
Bye, honey. Baby boy. Oh, make sure you're eating.
Yeah, I'm working on it all right. A string of failed relationships. There's only so many times a lady will be stood up because of the choice of your vocation. Late nights ankle deep in fish guts at a siding factory because someone allegedly slipped into the vat. They want to know about your day. Half the time you can't tell them for their own protection. Sometimes the details are just too ugly. I don't even want to repeat them. Not to mention how dangerous my line of work is. I can't tell you how many cranium-bound blackjacks I've had to dodge, or an errant stiletto from a ballroom brute. Or even worse, bullet hell from Sammy the Nose Hoffa. One of those did hit. All close calls. Anything can happen at any time. I'm not a safe bet. How could I ever take a partner if I can go at any time? I can't put anyone through that. A doghouse and a picket fence just aren't in the cards for me.
P, there's a tattooed lady from the circus here to see you.
Naturally. Send her in. The doorknob turns and in comes this slender, kinda tall woman. Confidence in her strut. Tight curls in her shoulder-length hair. She held out her hand, the head of an Asian dragon scribed into her flesh, its body twisting and turning up the length of her arm.
Sally Sutcliffe's the name, and oddities are my game. Not only do I run a curiosity tent, I'm also the lead performer.
Take a seat and tell me what vexes you.
Everything peachy. Ain't no vex on these decks.
Well, good. There's the door. Thanks for visiting.
Ah, yes. I heard you can be ornery. I also heard you're pretty nifty with a 6-shooter.
What's the job, Sal?
I'm always on the lookout for talent. Our clients jump in and out of business all of the time. Sometimes we travel to a new city they decide to settle down in. Sometimes we lose them to their afflictions, which is very sad. Me? I'm a lifer. I love what I do.
Cigarette?
No, I only smoke Chesterfields. We always put the word out that we're looking to employ. You would be amazed at how many unsavory hucksters this can attract.
No, I wouldn't.
I need someone I can trust to protect me. The carny world is filled with grievous hoodlums, giving us law-abiders a bad name. Most of us just want to make an honest living like anyone else. All you would need to do is sit in the corner and look pretty. Make sure nothing goes south. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
I'll take the job, but we do it here in the office. On my turf.
I'll be here tomorrow at the crack of 11 a.m. with the riffraff.
Talk to my secretary for the invoice. She nods and walks out of my office. Sounds like a routine bodyguard job. Done my fair share of them. Never worked with Connies before, though. Connies and Canary together at last. I don't mind if she has me pegged as a rube as long as the money is green and no one gets hurt. Noon the next day. She's an hour late. Maybe I've been stood up like a chase prom date on a Sunday. Spent the morning tidying up the office. The plan is she's gonna sit behind my desk while she interviews her cavalcade of disparate misfits. I'm gonna sit in a corner reading my newspaper, unassuming, but ready to strike if need be, strategically next to that sawed-off under the loose floorboard. I highly doubt anything will happen that my trusty 38 can't handle. A commotion erupts in my small lobby outside my office. Looks like the freak show is here. Hey! Now look, everybody. We don't have enough room for you all. So this half is gonna have to come back in a couple hours. Try a Leo's down the block. Corned beef that'll knock your socks off. I wave my secretary off to let her know that she can have the rest of the day off. She opens her purse to reveal a small derringer that can fit in the palm of your hand. She winks and goes back to typing. I call Sally in alone and sit her behind my desk. Now don't move the ashtray, I got it just where I like it. Do your thing, Canary's got your back.
Oh, you talk in the third person. That's precious.
I crack a sarcastic smile and get settled in with my paper.
Whoever's first may come in now.
In comes a greasy-haired fella carrying a dummy.
We don't normally hire ventriloquists, but give us your pitch.
Hello, my name is Edward, and here's my friend Bobo, the idiot dummy boy.
Oh, brother.
We got your information. Next! This is gonna be a long day.
A seemingly endless line of sword swallowers, jugglers, geeks, magicians, and dancers. Most of their routines stunk like yesterday's catch.
We've been at this for hours. What do you say about calling it a day, eh, Canary?
It's your gig, your dime.
I'm good for one more. Next! The rest of you lot, go home. I think we got what we need. Try again next time we're in town.
In walks a hulk of a man, shaved and groomed impeccably. You just try something there, barbells. A swift braining and a stub nose pressed into your gut's the great equalizer.
Lucky you, you're the last of the day.
Good day, ma'am. I'm here for a job with your entertainment outfit.
Take a seat, Muscles. Just so you know, we already have a strong man.
I'm not here for that position. I'm what they call a lycanthrope.
I've been accused of being a misanthrope. What exactly is the lichen variety?
Shush. We also already have a wolf boy who suffers from trichosis.
I'm a real werewolf.
Oh, crime in Sicily.
My tale is tragic, long, and storied.
Well, you better get yapping. It's getting late.
I come from a place far from here. Somewhere in, let's say, Europe. The old country.
But your accent, you sound native to this city.
I've had a long time to adapt. I settled here about 60 years ago.
You don't look a day over 30.
My condition seems to have granted me long life. I'm not immortal, I don't think so. I am aging, just at a diminished rate.
Listening to this, I wish they could see me roll my eyes behind my paper.
Better send your secretary home and order some food. This has piqued my interest.
The old country was beautiful. Green and lush in spring and summer. Wild falls. In winter, the snow-capped hills lined the horizon. Beautiful land. I was an average boy. An only child. Did okay in school, but never excelled at anything except baling hay. I was to become a farmer like my father. I looked up to him, and I felt at home on the farm. People sometimes fight their destiny, but I was happy where I was, and where I was going. When I met Leilani, she came right up to me, and we talked like we were long-lost friends. Red flowing hair that would put the seventh circle of hell to shame. An eyes so blue you need a life raft to find yourself out of them. At 20 we were set to be married. I couldn't believe she was to be mine. To be each other's.
She sounds like a special woman.
I was set to lead the farm and give my father some more time to enjoy life while he was still relatively young. My mother died giving birth to me, and he vowed he'd never take another woman's hand. And I kept at him since he was so lonely. He was coming around to the idea of having another companion.
Food's here.
Much obliged. Our main crop was wheat, but we had all kinds. Corn, barley, and this rye type plant called triticale. It started when I was a boy. We would hear things deep in the wheat fields. Every year. You could set your calendar to it. A violent symphony of guttural screams. Not of man or any beast I've heard. We would dare not go in under the dark suffocation of night. The next morning we'd find animals, or what used to be, circles stamped out in the fields, checkered with flesh and fur. Bones snapped like toothpicks. It was not out of the ordinary to find a crushed animal skull. Deer, even bear, fresh, victims of some ravenous entity. It liked to hunt, a bigger, a better. I wouldn't call my father devout, especially after Mother had passed, but he was convinced dark forces were at play. He kept it a secret shame. I don't know why.
I stuck my chopsticks into my food. Bear brain tartare made me lose my appetite.
My father had enough of it. He claimed he wouldn't let the sanctity of his home be spoiled. He was older but strong from a lifetime of manual labor. He lit a torch and took a huge hand axe and told me not to follow him, no matter what I heard. I tried to talk him out of it, but into the field it disappeared. No crickets, no rustling stalks, no more hell screams in the distance. It was as if nature itself was holding its breath in anticipation. It was the longest 30 minutes of my life.
You wouldn't catch me in that field even if the Florentine diamond was buried in there.
The wheat parted and he emerged, battered and bloodied, but very much alive. He told me he had seen a demon in the field that night. The crop, their Colosseum. It grabbed his torch from behind, flame first, was not fazed by the extinguishing flame against its woolly flesh. Before the smell of burned hair registered in my father's nostrils, it stood before him. Was as big as a bear on hind legs, angry as one too. By the light of the full moon, its eyes glowed a sickly yellow.
I peeked out of the side of my newspaper. This guy might be a #1 candidate for the funny farm, but he sure tells a captivating story. He should work for the pictures, or tell drama stories on the radio.
It raised his curled claws up into the sky and came down swiftly, slashing my father, leaving zigzag gashes across his chest. It was on. For as big as it was graceful in the darkness. The only sounds that registered for my father were those of his own heavy breaths. He wrestled with this beast twice his size, but he was putting up a fight. It was a pace he knew he couldn't keep up. But a lucky opening. The moon glinted off his hatchet as he swung, and he sank his axe right into the meat of the beast's thigh. But by the stream of blood he knew he'd opened up a major artery. A wound the beast surely wouldn't survive. It was the only time he heard it make a noise.
Sally looked on enthralled, completely lost in the story.
Frothy teeth sank square into my father's shoulder. He pulled the axe out of the beast's leg like some kind of macabre King Arthur. And all he could remember was flailing with everything he had left. The beast lay lifeless in the crumpled wheat, and my father retreated. I dressed my father's wounds and put him to bed. I tossed and turned all night, afraid the demon would come back to finish the job. My father slept until late afternoon. Unprecedented. But he finally awoke. I pressed him about going out into the field. I wanted to see it. I wanted to know it was dead. He knew I wasn't going to relent, so he insisted he go with me. There was certainly a fight in the field that night. It looked like a murder scene, but there was no corpse. A deadly dance of ghoulish footprints was found in the dewy earth. Like a trace it coming in, but Where did it go?
Just let me catch my breath. This is some story. Okay, continue.
The next couple of years were mostly uneventful. Nothing stirred in the fields except what we planted. I noticed some changes in my father. His shoulders widened. His salt and pepper darkened. He had a youthful glow about him, but he was still himself by all accounts. He was happier than I've seen him in a long time, and he started seeing a lovely woman from town. I was 20 now. I'd become a man in my own right. I was set to marry Leilani, and my father wasn't going to be alone anymore.
Tell me about her. What was she like?
She was beautiful as I'd ever seen. Voluptuous and passionate. We tried to wait for marriage, but it was a fool's errand. When we made love, it was as if our spirits danced with and through each other above us. She wanted a large family, and we were going to make that a reality. Anything from a flower. Leilani. She was so smart and talented. Took to anything once she put her mind to it. She'd become a school teacher, which made sense. Patience was something that came naturally to her. She was able to tame the most troubled youth. Not only was she loved by me, but also by her students and all of the community.
Oh, please tell me you married Leilani.
The week leading up to our wedding, she was radiant. Everything was falling into place, and I was the happiest I'd ever been. We had agreed not to see each other a week before we walked down the aisle. The day before we were to be wed, I was working the farm with my father. He was feeling under the weather, so I told him to go to the house and rest. I'd finish up. I was confused at first, like a phantom sound that I hadn't heard in a lifetime. But it had only been a few years. It was the screams I used to hear deep in the wheat fields. This close, it sounded more like a howl. I grabbed my pitchfork and ran towards the house. There lay Leilani on the front porch, body lifeless. A basket of food spilled around her. She couldn't wait to see me any longer. Had come to surprise me with supper.
But she was just unconscious, right?
I heard glass breaking and rummaging through the house. With pitchfork in hand, I ran in towards the sound. The demon my father spoke of had returned. It stood 8 feet tall on its digitigrade legs. An unholy visage of a bipedal wolf. It had killed my bride-to-be. Needless to say, I saw it. I dropped the pitchfork and lunged on top of the beast. I choked at the life out of it with my bare hands as it gnashed its frothing maw at my face. I watched its eyes go glassy and found its body go limp. I got up to run to Leilani, but it wasn't over yet. The wolfen beast shot back to life and lashed its steel-trapped jaws onto my arm.
He pointed to his arm where the faded scar was. Could have been anything.
I was able to reach the pitchfork and I speared it in the face, handle side first, stunning it. I flipped it around and plunged its tine square into its heart slowly, reveling in its suffering. I watched in horror as this wolfen demon metamorphosed in front of my eyes into the corpse of my father. I ran to my Leilani. Next snap, there was nothing that could be done.
Sally looked on with a tear in her eyes, trying to choke out words but was unable.
My father had just killed Leilani, and I had just killed my father. No one would believe what happened here. I placed sheets over their remains. Not affording myself a moment to grieve, I quickly packed a bag and I ran.
You poor man.
My father must have snuck back into the field after his grisly showdown, carried the human corpse off the scene, buried it and covered his tracks. That's why I didn't find anything. How could he explain it to anyone?
Here, Sal. Take the hanky. It's clean.
My suspicion that this affliction had been passed to me was confirmed in the coming months. Despite living hand to mouth on the road, my muscle mass seemed to have doubled. I was able to survive as a day laborer in whatever town I roamed into. It was no problem getting hired for a big guy like me. There's nothing magical about my sickness. I believe it to be very much biological. It's not like what you read in scary stories. Full moon has nothing to do with it. Silver.
He holds up his ring and the pointer finger.
This was to be my wedding ring. No effect. There seems to be an incubation period, which fooled us into a false sense of security. After it's taken hold, I suspect there is a hormone that builds up in your body. Takes about a year to trigger a flare-up. My best guess. This isn't something they write about in medical books. I have become attuned to when the change is coming on, and plan accordingly. I'm able to live a relatively normal life without murder. This year, I turned 120. Any legal case will be long shut by now. I am ready to go back and face my tragedies. Back to the only place I was happy. Back to Mulgrave.
100 years ago and across the drink? Yeah, that's out of my jurisdiction.
You are hired. If I'm any indication, this story will have our patrons bawling their eyes out and dropping nickels like they're at a Johnny Cake smorgasbord. You can start tomorrow.
She stood and walked around the desk and embraced him. Her flowing blouse dropped from her shoulder to reveal a crude Lotus tattoo in black ink. I hate to break up this warm moment, but it's late. I'm out of cigarettes. Good night and Happy New Year. I look out the window at the empty nest and the fire escape across the way. I watched over the past few months as the pigeon prodigy went from egg to squab to adult and flew off to the big rock candy mountain. I got a postcard today. It seemed that Sal and our mystery man eloped. Took off on a steamship. One quack after another. As long as the check clears. Hey, if these two unique personalities can find happiness and strength in each other in these unlikely circumstances, there's hope for us yet.
Voice acted by, in order of appearance, J. Henry as Canary P.I, Jennie Dyer as Canary's mother, Marie G. as Sally Sutcliffe, George T. as Mystery Man. Written, directed, and edited by J. Henry. Music by Pedro Esparza, Kevin MacLeod, and Vivek Abhishek. Further information in details below. Visit our website at rpcanary.car.co. That's CARRD.co. This concludes the broadcast.
Madison is on the air.
Do you love old-time radio?
Yes!
You know absolutely nothing about old-time radio.
Also yes.
Then Madison on the Air is for you. Follow Madison, a modern-day makeup influencer, as she zaps back into the golden age of radio. Every episode is standalone with a wide variety of genres to choose from, like Detective Noir,
You put the dick in private dick.
superheroes,
So I am in the body of the Green Hornet.
westerns,
Saloon fight! Now this is a Western.
sci-fi,
Dude, the Martian's got a freaking heat ray!
plus classic characters.
Toto! Oh, I gotta get that dog into an obedience class. Really digging Dracula's OG goth style. What if I killed freaking Sherlock Holmes?
And many more. Actual old-time radio scripts adapted.
It's like if the MST3K riff tracks guys were in the movies they riff.
Start at the beginning or jump around to any title that grabs you. New episodes premiere the first of every month.
Find us wherever you get your podcasts.
And now, our feature presentation. Presenting Canary P.I. in The Curse of the Cadavers, Remastered, a J. Henry production. He's lean, he's keen, and most importantly, he's clean. Don't let your suds be duds and reach for Duke's detergent. Now with triple the amount of filtered bovine tallow.
Plumes of smoke erupt over my wool-brimmed silhouette. I like to sit in the dark, where the dangerous and grotesque reside. I feel at home this way. There's so much work to do. The cough is lean. One day I'll be able to settle down in that remote beachfront cottage. I'll put my feet up and, well, I'll watch those salty tomatoes grow. That day isn't today, or tomorrow for that matter. You just gotta hold on, or one day, you might not come out of the dark. Yeah, what do you got for me?
Mr. Morrey of Morrey's Mortuary is here to see ya.
Send him in. As I'm tamping out my cigarette in my crowded ashtray, the knob turns and in comes a short, stocky, nebbish-looking fellow. He had a pencil-thin mustache that looked drawn on, and a sharp come-over of futility.
Hello. My name is Mick Morrey.
Won't you take a seat and tell me what vexes you?
Oh, yes. Thank you, sir. Mr. Canary, do you listen to the news?
Sure, I like to pollute my brain.
Have you heard of the unprecedented rash of robberies? It's a real burgle-fest out there.
Crime is worse than ever. What are they calling that guy? Here it is, front page. The Bauble Bandit strikes again. Where do they come up with this stuff?
Well, Mr. Canary, I think I have a very particular problem. You have a certain reputation, and I don't know where else to go.
If this guy claims to be the leader of a crime syndicate, I'm buying him a bus ticket. Destination, Funny Farm. Tell me what you know, Mr. Morrey.
I am a mortician. A good one at that. I do everything. Embalming to handmade casket doilies. Peculiar things have been happening to my clients, as I prefer to call them.
I lit a lucky and held out the pack. He shook his head.
I am good at my job. I'd go so far as to say, great. After preparing the deceased for their final rest, I'd notice strange anomalies the following mornings. Dirt under the fingernails, grass stains on the cuff of the pants, old motor oil on soles. A good mortician would never overlook such things.
I'm just a private eye. What do I know about the funeral business?
Mr. Canary, I've come to the conclusion that...
Take a deep breath, Mr. Morrey.
The dead are rising up in the night to commit these crimes.
I'm sorry, we can't work together. There's the door. I suggest you use it. Mr. Morrey held out his clenched fist and released a handful of diamonds and gold doubloons, landing in a dramatic clatter.
Do I look like Scrooge McDuck? Undertaking doesn't pay this well. I will not have anything to do with ill-gotten fortunes. If I went to the cops, they'd lock me up faster than you can say 23 skidoo.
I don't believe in undead ghouls traipsing around at night to pull off jewel heists.
Neither do I. At least I didn't before.
Against my better judgment, I'm gonna take this case. If I can't solve this within 48 hours, you turn yourself in and let the coppers sort it out. Otherwise, you walk out that door, and you'll have a head start before I call this in.
I accept your help.
Get this off my desk. Do not walk around with it. You got a safe? Lock it away.
At once.
Pay the secretary on the way out. Now put an egg in your shoe and scramble. I flick my desktop lamp off and sink back into my chair. Only the soft cherry glow of my cigarette faintly illuminating my face. Taking down the Bauble Bandit. Those are the kind of scores that make careers. Those are the kind of scores that make sandy feet and octagonal shade. Let's knock on some doors.
Mick Morrey? Yeah, sure I know him. Say, you a cop? Let me see your badge. Private investigator? I don't know nothing about that. Good day, sir.
Yeah, I've seen Mick around. Mostly keeps to himself. Seems nice enough, that's all I know.
You here to deliver the ice? Where's the ice?
Oh. You better come in and sit down. Do you like tea?
Just the elixir I need to warm my bones. Would love some, dear.
My name is Lynda Valentine. I've lived on this street for many years. What's your business with Mick, Mr. Canary? Is he okay?
I've been hired by an anonymous party. I assure you he's not in any trouble.
Mick is a very special person to me. When my dear husband Rupert departed 3 years ago, we worked so hard all our lives just to get by. I couldn't afford funeral services. We have no kids, not much family. The bank wants nothing to do with me with little security.
Lovely tea. Ooh. Bergamot. Delightful.
I was ready to bury Rupert in a plain pine box up on Potter's Field, but Mick stepped right in. He said hard-working people deserved a dignified end, a dignity that wasn't awarded in life, a king's funeral for a pauper's price. For that, I will always be grateful to that man. I'm sure you'll find similar stories if you dig deep enough. I don't think anyone will give you the time of day if they think it'll incriminate him. He's a treasure to this town. He even makes sure my walkway is shoveled in the winter, and I bring him Mama's meatballs every Sunday. It's the least I can do.
Thank you very much, Miss Valentine. One thing you learn in this line of business is how to read people. Some residents were on the level, and some were feeding me lines so fat you could hang your laundry on them. Morrey's Mortuary, a ground floor business with an apartment on top. A modest property with neatly kept shrubbery.
I've been expecting you. I've been getting many calls that you've been asking around town about me.
Show me the scene of the quote-unquote crime.
Right this way, sir. You are standing in the parlor where we greet guests and they can talk. This is the powder room and this is the utility closet.
The commode. Mopping buckets. Story checks out.
And this is the viewing room.
It was nicer than I expected. Persian rugged floors. Chairs neatly lined up.
We serve all denominations here and dress the room to their needs. Behind this curtain is a door downstairs to the embalming area, and a lift for bringing the deceased up and down.
I jot a few things down on my notepad. Half the time I'm writing nonsense, but it keeps people on their toes. Okay, let's go downstairs.
And this, Mr. Canary, is where the magic happens. Where I prepare the cadavers as they come in.
This is where those phantom jewels appear?
Precisely. On a counter there. On the draining table here. It's never in the same spot. One time jewels were in the light fixture. Looked like Barnum and Bailey in here. Kinda nice.
What's this room?
That's where we keep our clients on ice.
Nah, I'm afraid you'll have to open it.
Pretty full right now, as you can see. Kind of a double-edged sword in my business. When crime and sorrow is booming, so am I.
Each body laid on a stretcher with a thin white sheet draped over. Their grayish feet stick out like macabre mannequins in a line, each tagged. Why do these ones have black tags while the rest are white?
Those are for the indigent and unclaimed. They are stored here until the state tells me to prepare them for the potter's field. Usually buried with a blank grave marker. Even if they're going in a box of raw pine, I give them every care I can give them. Maybe give them the respect they didn't get in life.
Coming in, I saw an apartment on the second story.
It's not much, but it saves time on the commute. There is a separate entrance on the side of the building.
We do a quick walk around of his apartment. A quaint bachelor pad complete with soup cans on the kitchen counter. and an overflowing hamper. A far cry from the neatness of his business. We're gonna stake out this building day and night. I can't have you anywhere near this place. Take this card and go to this address listed. You'll be staying under the name Tammy Tamerson.
Tammy? Who's she?
Once you're in the room, you stay in. You need a couple salami sandwiches, then you better plan accordingly. I'll have eyes on you too, so no funny business. Now get a move on, Tam-Tams. I stopped by my office to grab my thermos. I turned on the radio to catch the end of the 9 o'clock news.
Clouds coming in from the west with mild temperatures going into the morning. Chance of intermittent showers. And now we go to the chief of police for the ever-developing Bauble Bandit saga.
It's been 4 days since there's been a robbery. We don't have any reason to believe he will even strike again. Museums, banks, and other places of interest are now at heightened levels of security. He doesn't seem to hit residential areas, but all the same, lock your doors, windows, and take proper precautions. We assume he is armed and dangerous. We are very busy. That will be all.
I pull up the Morreys and park across the street. Collar pulled up, hat pulled down. Fresh pack of Luckies on the dash, newspaper unfurled as cover. A hazed hobo and his bindle making his way towards the train tracks. A stray cat pawing at the garbage cans cranes his head towards me and darts off into the shadows. Nothing. Not a damn thing all night. I collected Mick and once again we did a walk through the mortuary. Through the parlor, down the hall, and into the viewing room. Nothing out of place. Then down the stairs into Mick's laboratory. In the corner was a cold metal chair, where laid a single gold coin. Now this definitely wasn't here yesterday.
Mr. Canary, for the life of me, I don't know.
Open the human icebox. Mud prints stretched over the floor tiles, as if the perpetrator was dragging his leg. I put on a pair of rubber gloves and I went up and down the line. 3 of them showed debris from the outside world. I grabbed Mr. Morrey by the collar. What's this? You trying to make a fool of me? The dead stay dead. They don't steal priceless artifacts. I had my eyes on this place all night. No one came in or out.
Mr. Canary, I am just as confused as you are. I'm the one who's innocent and has everything to lose. I don't know what is happening.
We're gonna meet back here at 5 p.m. I'll get some chain and a padlock and lock myself in here. I'll slide the key under the door to my partner who'll be on the outside. If I don't see any voodoo, you explain it to the judge. I reach into my inner pocket of my trench and pull out a thin case containing some tricks of the trade. I do a quick dusting of the gold coin, doorknobs, and any points of interest. All clean as a houndstooth. And I'm out of here. I keep a cot in my office for when I'm working late nights. And I don't want to get too comfortable. And I was asleep before my head hit the pillow. Maybe I'm getting too old for the grindstone. In my salad days, I could do 48 hours standing on my head. I was up on my own and cleaned myself up in the office sink. And the bachelor life, eh? Slapping my bristly cheek. Better get a move on. Now listen, there's a window in here that you can see from the street. If I need up before morning, I'll flick the light 3 times. Come in locked and loaded just in case.
You got it, Canary.
I closed the door to the embalming room behind me with a thud. I sealed the door with a greasy, cold chain and a stout padlock. I slid the key under the door to my associate. I settle in for the night. I lay a packet of saltines and a small log of summer sausage on the draining table. I take my trench off and the buzzing fluorescence glints off my polished 6-shooter, hanging off my shoulder. I open today's newspaper. The Bauble Bandit is back, read in bold letters. Read the whole damn paper. Some articles twice. Need to stretch. I opened a cabinet containing various beakers and liquids.
What'll it be, RP? Saline or formaldehyde?
Just coffee for me, beer tender. I'm on the clock. Yeah, you're losing it, Canary. Yeah, it's really coming down out there now. With a crack of thunder, the lights go out. I get to my feet, but I trip forward, tethered by some unseen means. I get to my feet, wobbled, and pawed at my ankles. It was a greasy chain. Like it was a cue, the lights flicked back on. A ghoul-like woman stood at the door, wrapped in one of the modesty sheets like a toga. Pale and not a scratch of hair on any of her exposed skin. She stared at me blankly. You better start talking fast, cue ball. With an explosion of flamboyancy, she started a rant.
Mr. Canary, you are in the presence of the great Panini.
Does that come with a dill pickle, toots? The chains were only loosely wrapped around my ankles and I stepped out of them.
I'm the greatest showman or showwoman you've never heard of. I've learned from the best gurus, swamis and yogis, the best mentalists, magicians and wizards. Did I mention escapologists?
She threw the padlock at my feet.
I could have easily snuck by you. But, to be frank, I'm bored. I'm not a cat burglar by trade. I just kind of fell into it. It's just too easy for me to steal from people. Because of my vocation, I can never take any credit for my work. I travel all over the world, looking for hard luck cases. I redistribute the wealth to those that need it the most. Oh, Mick Morrey's always one paycheck away from disaster. He does so much for his community. There's hard luck cases all over the city, all over the world. And I just share a little magic with them. One less Duesenberg for a big man in a big suit. And life-changing fortunes for the deserving. No one gets hurt.
The first handful of jewels would have set Mick Morrey up for life. Why'd you keep coming back here?
I needed a home base. Stayed longer than I expected, huh? Much suffering and injustice in the city. Terrible, terrible place. Through meditation and breathing exercises, I am able to stop my heart to a nominal amount. All outward appearances show I am dead to the world. In reality, though, I'm just taking a nap.
I get it now. You were hiding as a black tag.
That's right!
Why the goofy zombie subterfuge?
It was amusing me.
I reached for my belly gun and retracted the hammer. Stick 'em up or I'll put daylight through you.
Canary, you're ruining the fan.
She outreaches her hand over a wastebasket and drops 6 bullets. What in blue blazes? I've dealt with all caliber of pickpockets. Impossible. Panini outreaches her other hand and makes an ace of diamonds appear out of thin air. She flicks it in my general direction.
It's time for me to move on from this city. It felt good to go out. Thank you, Birdman.
She waved her hand in front of her face, each time revealing a different hairstyle. Pompadour, victory rolls, page boy, bushy great beard. That's the hobo from last night. She landed on tight pulled back hair.
And now, I make my grand exit.
She raises both hands and gyrates her fingers towards the doorknob.
Alakazam!
She anticlimactically reaches over and turns the knob and walks up the stairs. I race after to find her, standing in the viewing room, now in a gray suit, shaking her finger at me.
Oh, meow. Meow.
In a puff of smoke, she was gone. I quickly ran outside. The sun was starting to peek over the hazy horizon. Did anyone come out of the building?
No one.
Give me a gun. Go to the hotel and get Mick. I ran around the property and back into the building, where Panini disappeared, a crunched-up ping-pong ball dripping with a mysterious liquid laid. I jogged down to the embalming room. A drab painting on the wall hangs askew, revealing a safe with the door ajar. Mick's jewels, long gone. The playing card Panini flicked at me laid face down on the floor. With the tip of a pencil, I turned it over to reveal a joker. She was still in the building, and she's taunting me as she's running out. No eyes on the outside. She's good. Mick stumbles in with worry painted all over his face.
Mr. Canary, are you all right? Look at this mess. Why are there bullets in my trash?
Mr. Morrey, I cannot begin to explain what happened tonight, but I will try. The look of bafflement appeared on his face. The jewels are gone, There's nothing to report because there's no evidence, except some crap on the carpet and this pristine poker card. You're free to go. I don't want to see you or a place like this for another 50 years. I saw all the worry wash from his face.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Mr. Canary. Thank you. Thank you. Please, excuse me. I must retire now. I haven't gotten any rest for 3 days.
Mick went upstairs to his apartment. As he pulls the cover off his bed, he finds a sack with a comically large $sign on it, scribbled on a ace of diamonds red.
Do some more good with this. Your pal, Panini.
Voice acted by, in order of appearance, J. Henry as Canary P.I, Stephen Lynx as Mick Morrey, Jennie Dyer as Lynda Valentine, Ren Noir as Panini. Written, directed, and edited by J. Henry. Music by Pedro Esparza, Kevin MacLeod. Follow us at twitter.com/RPCanaryP.I. This concludes the broadcast.
Impala Films presents Haunted, the audio drama.
I don't need to force them. Everybody in this school loves me.
Pain, sadness, anger, the air is thick with it.
You're starting to creep me out.
Their son, James, was declared missing shortly after.
Time to ascend.
We were born to rule.
So, my opinion means nothing on this.
Carl, what are you doing here?
I didn't want to miss the look on your face when you started piecing this all together.
I need to know what they did to us, what they're still doing to other children.
And whatever you do not trust James Hunter.
And now, our feature presentation. Presenting Canary P.I. in The Phantom Physicist Remastered, a J. Henry production. Hattie Shoehorns, the best way to slide those tappers on your dogs. Throw those space-age polymers in a sack, because they're now made with durable and affordable Bakelite. The future in your heel.
They may be mind-numbing and not always most lucrative, but those infidelity cases are my bread and butter. I miss the Hank Panky smooching on Blondie from the malt shop while wifey's home alone with the kids. Yeah, open and shut. Safe, compared to some of these cases that come to me on the regular. But poor souls can get lost in the system. Seen it firsthand as, I was a part of it. Just another greasy cog in the law enforcement wheels before I went solo. And boy, do I mean greasy. Some dirt doesn't wash off, but I'll do my best to keep scrubbing. If I can sacrifice a few simoleons to help a lady and her kid, well, I'll do it, as long as the rent isn't due. What do you got?
I'm Mrs. Nancy Aconian here to see you. Your favorite, suspected adultery.
Send her in. The door to my office opened and she closed it gently behind her. She was short and Rubenesque, pale with wavy brown hair falling over both her shoulders.
I never thought I'd be in this position. Please don't judge my family.
Take a seat and tell me what vexes you.
My husband. He's gotten so distant. He used to come home right after work, and now it's excuse after excuse. Short-staffed at the hospital, an old college buddy is in town getting a tune-up for the Chevy. It's never ending.
I'm out of medicine.
My husband is a brilliant man. Very intelligent. Was a scientist for the government.
What kind of scientist?
I don't know. He was always vague. Said it was for my protection.
Smart man.
He was a valued mind for the military. That's all I know. Even got to meet the president. He's not some two-bit hood. He can be very clever and convincing when he wants to be.
You leave the gumshoe into me, sweetheart.
I followed him before. I've learned from those spy dramas on the radio, he's not running errands or staying late at work. He goes to some apartment building downtown, sometimes stays for days at a time. Something's gotta give. As much as I want to believe his lies, I can't anymore.
If I take this job, I'm not gonna sugarcoat what I find. Are you prepared?
I told you. I just need to know.
Are you a mother, Mrs. Zirconian? How's your bankroll? We have payment plans we can work with you.
Yes, I have 2 little boys. I can only pay you for 3 days. It's all the money I have stashed. He doesn't know I have it.
I'm not taking all your money, I'll do it in 2.
Thank you, Mr. Canary.
I'll just need a name, a description, and the address to the Lonely Hearts Cooperative. Even if he was some highfalutin government scientist, yeah, it's as textbook as they come. I just hate to tell her what he's been doing with his Bunsen burner after hours. I can sympathize, but yeah, it's best I don't. I'm not as heartless as I seem sometimes. I may seem cold, but yeah, I'm no head shrinker. You'll be hearing from me soon, Mrs. Zirconian. She stood up and shook my hand across my desk. She turned her back, and as she walked out, I heard her muffled sniffle through her cupped face. She dabbed her mascara with a tissue and was composed by the time she walked through the door. Easy now, Canary. A job's a job after all. Have to disconnect like a surgeon or I'm no use to anyone. I was at said apartment complex early that evening, casing the joint out. People coming and going in the systematic chaos of rush hour. Soon the streets will wind down, and the decent folk will be settled in with their Swanson tray in front of the idiot box until it's time to turn in and start all over again. I never really liked a set schedule that much. I find these after-hour rendezvous with precarious certainties to be the spice of life, as they say. Tall, bespectacled, kinda gangly, slicked coal black hair, thick leather briefcase. Here comes Loverboy now. I emerged from my car dressed in navy blue overalls, a tool belt decorated with all kinds of janglies, paper bag in hand. Walking straight at him from the opposite direction, I accidentally bumped into him, spilling the contents of my bag all over his shoes and the ground in front of him. A quart of hopelessly sticky pine tar.
Ah, you syndicate! Watch where you're going, will ya? These are brand new tappers.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Just rushing this over to the job site. Leaky roofs, can't stand them.
Lovely. Now if you'll excuse me.
Now just hold on a minute. I can clean this up. I bent down with a hanky to futilely wipe the bottom of his shoes, just making him trip into the black sludge some more. It was a real Martin Lewis scene. In my flailing, I knocked his suitcase to the ground, springing it open, mostly empty. A thick, well-used notebook and a flask.
That won't be necessary. Please, just stop. Go away. You're making it worse. Oh, I came for a boot black.
Say, you got a nickel for the payphone?
Payphone?
That line's for my amusement. Always gets them. A notebook and a small bottle of hooch. No French perfume or satin undergarments wrapped in a bow. I walked around the block in a meandering way, then back to my car to make sure I'm not seen. I rip off my overalls, revealing my suit underneath. I lace up a fresh pair of Oxfords and I'm reunited with my trench coat. Hat on, collar up, sunk into seat. The streets are winding down now. I walk up to the building under the cover of night. An older woman with a baguette in her face, fumbling with 2 bags of groceries. She accepts my offer for help and we walk past the doorman. A janitor frantically mopping the scuffed up floors. We'll take a scraper and some paint thinner before all that junk comes off. The lady offers a tip, but I decline. I follow the trail of pine tar up the stairs. Room 32, 3rd floor, 2 rooms in. I tip my hat to the doorman, not making eye contact as I exit the building. I walk around the side of the building under the cover of night and slip into the alleyway. I stack up a couple of sweaty crates. Standing on my tippy toes, I'm able to grab and lower the ladder from the fire escape. I ascend up the entanglement of rusty metal. more swiftly than I expected. And not bad, old man. Totally blacked out window. Can't sense any movement inside. I encased myself in my black trench and wait. A sickly sweet and pungent smell wafts into my nose. Ozone. I flick my Zippo and hold it up to my pocket watch. Right about now.
What? Holy mackerel. I'm not expecting any delivery. I'll be right down.
Not mackerel. 35 pounds of herring defrosting on their lobby floors. Should keep him busy for a while. I jimmied the window and entered. This was no love nest. Lines of bubbling beakers and graduated cylinders filled with all colors of the rainbow. Blue electricity curling up the probes of a Tesla coil. Wooden boxes faced with unmarked knobs and switches. This was a makeshift laboratory. I spot the notebook next to a pile of glassware. Mathematical equations and crude sketches littered the dog-eared pages. There was a drawing of a featureless silhouette of a person, with more scientific jargon scribbled in the margins. Damn. I'll have to take this back to my office. He'll know someone was here. I had no choice now. I was out the window, closing it behind me not to make a sound. I hear smashing of equipment and curse words as I was descending the side of the building like some kind of Caped Crusader. I got right the hell out of there. Now able to delve deeper into the book, it contained some alarming passages.
I was fresh out of college, green with stars in my eyes. Getting a doctorate in physics was not something just anyone could do. It takes sacrifice and focus that most don't have to give. It didn't come easy, but I was valedictorian. I was finally special like I always wanted to be. I had many job offers, but the one that caught my eye was a government job working for the Defense Department. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. After a little consideration, I accepted. I would have been a fool not to. It was exciting. I felt like I could make a difference. I could help propel our country forward with cutting-edge technology, and most importantly, I could now afford to make an honest woman out of Nancy. Buy a big house and give her all the nice things she deserved. Surely, I'd be working in labs and behind desks. I thought I wouldn't have to get my hands dirty. I was wrong. Most of the time, you didn't even know what you were working on. They'd move you around to different projects in various degrees of completion. You'd figure out a specific problem and would transfer it to something else. This was done on purpose, so you never knew the big picture. Operation Templeton was one they were stalled on for years. I was briefed on it in great detail. More than I was used to. Real cloak and dagger spy stuff, a kind of camouflage never attempted before. They hypothesized that complete human invisibility was not only possible, but they were successful. With adverse side effects. I was surprised they gave me clearance to all the files. Well, in summary, a German man named Erich Schmidt was the first to head up the project. He was allowed to work on it longer than protocol since he was the star scientist. Well, he grew obsessive. He claimed he was close to the biggest discovery of humankind since fire. He got into the animal testing phase, which was a feat in itself. After many unsatisfactory results, he finally had a breakthrough. Templeton the Rat was his name. They claimed the rodent went completely transparent and re-emerged, unharmed. This couldn't be true, could it? More tests were ordered. He wouldn't listen. He felt it was ready for human testing, and to speed things up, he opted to be the guinea pig. Now, without government clearance, he administered the drug to himself. Can you believe it? Made notes of his vitals, all normal. He took another dose and waited. His colleagues had to write the rest of the report. It started in his hand. It pulsed with transparency, flashing in and out of existence like some kind of interdimensional being. It spread to the rest of his body, blinking in and out. He screamed bloody murder. He completely disappeared and the room went silent. 15 minutes passed and a primordial-like sludge appeared in his stead. It was conclusive that the formula was not successful in humans. He was so close. My methods of purification have done it. A human being is able to attain invisibility through my new and improved serum with minimal side effects. Just one more trial to be done. Not much time now. My interim formulas got the intended effect, but the cellular degeneration was still there, only slower. I am a marked man. Soon I will be nothing but a pile of slime like the doctor before me.
I was interrupted by a bang in my front office. Hey, we're closed. Come back in the morning.
What in the hell are you doing? Why are you acting like this? This isn't you!
It was Dr. Aconian, holding a knife to his wife's throat. I motioned to my holstered gun.
Now don't reach for anything. The book, Canary. I need the book back. You have no idea how dangerous it is in the wrong hands.
You're in way deep now. Now just think this through. No one has to get hurt.
The book! Now!
I have no shot. Can't endanger the lady. You got it, Doc, now. Just let her go. I throw the book at his feet and he pushed Nancy forward into my arms. By the time I had my gun drawn, he was out of the building. Nancy, are you okay?
He's gone mad! I'm fine, but please, don't hurt him. Go!
Call the cops. I ran out of my building and turned the corner, tripping over a pile of clothing. I get to my feet and look up and down the block. Nothing. A car suddenly peels away, and I'm in hot pursuit. He's going back to his lab. Then I'm sending him straight to the funny farm. I spot his car parked askew in the front. The doorman screaming into a phone. I run past him and up the stairs. An ectoplasm-like substance was smeared on the floor every few steps. I draw my gun, and I kick the door in. He was standing there, naked as a jaybird amidst the bubbling and wafting fog of his experiments.
The final formula works! It's a success!
She's your wife. How could you?
This is more important than any one of us. I wasn't going to hurt her. You have to take the book. You can't let it get into the wrong hands. I don't have much time.
He throws the book at me and I catch it midair with my free hand.
FBI, put the gun down.
G-men. I raise my hand with my finger off the trigger and the book in the other. Listen, I'm a P.I. My paperwork's in my pocket. I'm on a case. This man held a knife to his wife's throat. They took my gun and the book, threw a blanket over the doctor. We were handcuffed and separated. After a time, they gave me my gun back and I was free to go. Dismantled pieces of the laboratory was being carried out in wooden crates. Dr. Aconian was sitting in the back of an ambulance while someone was holding a stethoscope to his chest. Feeling better, Doc? The street lamp glistened off the petroleum jelly-like substance on his forehead, being wiped away by an EMT. Before he was able to respond, a man poking and prodding him turns around, revealing a head of unruly gray hair, wearing welding goggles. At night.
Hallucinogens, Mr. Canary. It seems our enterprising patient here has ventured into the drug business. After some rest at our rehabilitation clinic, he'll be good as new. I assure you, he's in good hands.
Whatever.
Voice acted by, in order of appearance, J. Henry as Canary P.I, Chrissy Talon Sage as Nancy Aconian, Julian Gilas as Dr. Aconian, Aidan Hughes as Strange Doctor. Written, directed, and edited by J. Henry. Music by Pedro Esparza, Vivek Abhishek, Kevin MacLeod. Follow us at twitter.com/RP CanaryP.I. This concludes the broadcast.
Why, greetings, my dear traveler. I see my sweet pet Larry has guided you right to where you need to be. Oh, where are you, you ask? This is the Morbid Forest. Come, sit by the fire for a while, and let Ranger Harper regale you with a tale to truly terrify. The Morbid Forest is a horror fiction anthology podcast. New episodes release every Tuesday on your favorite podcast streaming app. So, stay close to the Ranger, or you'll find yourself trapped within the Morbid Forest.
And now, our feature presentation. Presenting Canary P.I. in The Devil's Triangle, Remastered, a J. Henry production. Wondering how to cater your next black tuck soiree? Reach for O'Leary's canned luncheon meat. And be sure to check the back of the can for a new frosted party loaf recipe. Much like your guess, our meat will be dressed to impress.
Emotions run like the sea, constantly churning in waves and currents, never relenting. An undulating fervor, then a displacement, revealing what's really under the surface. Followed by the unleashing of the tsunami roiling deep in us all. Wishing you could take it back. Destruction and regret left in the wake. Why are we like this? One of the great mysteries of the human condition and the great deep. What do you got for me?
Mr. Dune is here to see ya.
Alright, send him in. The door opens sharply and in walks a fellow dressed in nautical garb. Salt and peppered beard. Walked with a cane with a slight limp on his otherwise sturdy frame.
Yar, me birthing papers call me Duffel Dune, but you can call me Captain Duff. The world-famous Captain Duff, of the SS Allspice to be exact. Yar!
Won't you take a seat on the poop deck and tell me what vexes you?
Say, I see you eyeing me leg. Gander away, top quality.
He unbuckles it from his thigh and lays it across my desk, tapping it with his cane.
Genuine redwood. Learned my lesson after a bout of sea fleas eating up my first. Solid, sturdy. I bet the babe could hit a homer with her.
Oh, that's not necessary. Please, put your appendage back on. Say, I got a second cousin who's a commercial fisherman. I hear it's dangerous out there.
Son, you respect the sea. If you don't, you're lucky if your leg is the only thing she takes.
Okay.
Mr. Canary? Oh, do you mind?
He takes out a pre-packed meerschaum pipe, the gray-hardened clay shaped into a devil's likeness. He strikes a box of wooden matches and puffs as sharply as his entrance. And not as long as you don't. I smoke Luckies. Keeps me mean.
As I was saying, I happen to own the biggest privately owned cargo ship from here to Timbuktu. We're a free lunch shipping service. We ship everything. Anything. Don't get any ideas within the law, of course. You got 50 tons of doorknobs or herd of emus that need to move, I got a contract for you. The problem is, we've been arriving at our destinations with less product than we left with. You always account for damaged items or a missing crate or two, flew off with the fairies as we say. But that's usually a loading problem. Those crates were never there to begin with. It's been getting worse.
You think one of the deckhands is skimming?
No, they're all good men. It's not as simple as that. Mr. Canary, these are wooden shipping containers, 8 feet high, 8 feet wide, stacked. Now, you could maybe explain away 1 or 2 missing, but 5, 10, 15? Where they going? Ain't no pixies flying off with that many. It's gotten into me profits now.
I'll need complete access to the boat, your crew, and all your financial records. How long you docked for?
I can't stop operations. I have contracts for months. You'll have to come aboard while we work. Pay no worry. I'll have you back in 4 days flat, faster than Calico Jack. Yahar!
Hey, listen, I'm no sailor. I even failed knot tying when I was a wee below. Let me tell you, that clove hitch is a killer.
You leave the sailing to us. I'll leave the gumshoeing to you. How about I pay you extra? Double and a half. I'll even throw in a complimentary cork jacket.
Done.
We leave on the morrow, 5 a.m. sharp. You'll have your own private room and plenty of beans to eat. You just make sure to bring that keen eye and that no-nonsense outlook.
Yeah, what a character. But the pay is good. Looks like Canary flies with the gulls. I arrived at the pier the next morning at 5 a.m. on the dot. It was only a short walk before I found his boat. It was 350 feet long, if not 500. SS Allspice marked on the side in a loud red. As I get closer, I can make out a wooden facsimile of some kind of demon off the tip of the bow. Walking up the steep ramp on the ship causes my shins to burn. Getting older, Canary. Don't show that grimace.
Welcome aboard the SS Allspice. You must be Detective Canary. I was briefed to take you directly to the captain.
Not a detective, I'm just a private dick. We walked to the wheelhouse of the ship. We entered as he knocked.
Aye, lads. You made it. Those land-up legs will adjust in no time. You feel queasy? You just bite down on a squidge of this.
He threw me a small cloth sack that smelled like the dumpster after a busy weekend at a clam bar.
It's all squid. Fermented, salted, and dried. You keep that. I got plenty of it. It's my favourite snack since I was a wee skipper. Go on, try it.
I'll be damned. Salty and smoky, but not nearly as pungent tasting as it smells. Hey, not bad at all.
You make me laugh, Canary. Come here. Let me show you something special.
He unraveled a weathered scroll, stained and moth-eaten.
Look at these. All throughout history. Monstrum marinum. You got the sea pan, satyr, triton, sea monk, Cecilia, siren, serpents of all shapes and sizes.
I'm not one for superstitions.
No, suit yourself, mate. But men of the sea sure are. Are you aware of the Bermuda Triangle, Mr. Canary?
I heard some cockamamie ghost stories. Supposedly swallowed up Amelia Earhart, was it?
Well, some don't think it's so cockamamie.
How is this pertinent to the case, Mr. Dune?
Captain Duff, please. A few years ago, we had a shipment of parasols coming out of Miami. Hit by a devil of a storm. The waves came in strong, slamming our ship against the dock. We sailed out about half a mile from shore to ride it out. Standard practice. We were surrounded by tempest on all sides. A rogue wave almost capsized us. The further east we went, the calmer the waters were. East we went until diminishing returns. We set anchor, nothing else to do but hope for the best. We spent half the night bobbing and weaving. Crew kept us patched up right well. By sunup, the storm front had passed. We'd survived with minor damage.
What does this have anything to do with some missing crates?
But you see, this has everything to do with it. We were finally able to chart where we landed. Unbeknownst to us, we travelled right smack dab in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. The Devil's Triangle. Some claim it to be travelling into another dimension, or a place lost in time where ancient beasts still reside. I don't completely buy into that, but I do believe some places are just bad. The stretch of water fell sour. The crystal blue waves spiteful and acrid in spirit. The crew, they talk of a merman that followed us out. A demonic stowaway, always just out of sight. It haunts us, curses us, never letting us deliver a full bounty.
Seeing what kind of belief systems I'm up against actually does help. What do you believe, Captain Duff?
Well, I don't know. I just know I had to do something.
I look around the wood-planked cabin. My eye is caught by a large family portrait.
That's my father Douglas, and my older brother Dee. And that little shaver is me, when I was the greenest greenhorn you never did see. Our father taught us everything we needed to know and then some.
They're on board?
No. The sea took them some time ago. My father went first. Then my brother. Almost a year apart to the day.
My condolences.
Yerp. When me and Dee inherited the business, it was a golden age. Gosh, hand over fist. It was one of the best years of my life.
He trailed off, looking straight out of the bow of the ship, lost in thought. That's some pinata you got hanging off the front of the ship.
That's our guardian gargoyle. You don't normally see figureheads on boats this modern, but I had to have it. Used to ward off bad juju. At least, the modest kind.
Looks like St. Lucifer to me.
It sure does, lad.
I'll be having a look around now.
You'll find my first mate standing outside the door. He's at your disposal. We'll be setting out shortly. See you at your 4:30 sharp, or you'll be eating corn straight out of the tin. Yar!
First Mate Calhoun, at your service.
He raised his karate-chopped hand to his forehead, saluting me. Oh, that's not necessary. At ease, Sal, at ease.
Excellent, sir. In that case, you can call me Cal. What would you like to see first? The engine room? Sick bay? Or the promenade? The berth, bridge, or bilge?
Let's just take a walk around the top deck. I surveyed the dock and the sea that we will soon be setting out on. Faced with the back of the winged wooden creature on the bow, I give it 2 sharp thumps with my index and middle finger.
Same as my peg leg. Solid redwood. I'll have to ask you not to touch. He's got his own job to do.
He threw a coiled up rope over his shoulder and walked off.
Oh, he's just a little superstitious. Don't mind him. He delegates most of the major maintenance, but insists on painting and lacquering it himself. Every 6 months, like clockwork. More important things he could be doing, if you ask me.
Let's move. Lots of men scurrying, armed with tools I wouldn't know how to use. Show me where you keep your shipments.
This is the loading bay. I'm not sure how much of our operation Captain Duff has explained, but in here is where we stack the crates. 1 person on the pulley, 2 to swing and position them onto a dolly. We set a ramp directly to the back of the trucks, and it's simple as rolling them out and in. We've become so in sync that once we're in a rhythm, we can unload the whole thing in a couple of hours. Other crews would take half a day or more.
Impressive. Level with me, Cal. What's your opinion on this missing merchandise caper?
I overheard the captain telling you about our foray into the Bermuda Triangle. Something followed us out, I know it. A demon of the sea has laid its curse down upon us. This isn't a popular opinion, but I think that wooden devil on the bow has something to do with it. I hate that thing. Couldn't get something normal like a Poseidon or a half-naked mermaid? He insists it scares off evil, but I think it attracts it.
Duly noted. Show me the rest of the ship. It was vast. Points of interest are as followed. The engine room full of greased and aching pistons. My sleeping quarters, which had a cot-like Murphy bed which swung from the wall. With it down, it couldn't hold much more than a chamber pot. A small jail cell, mostly used to dry someone out if they dipped in some bathtub hooch a little too hard. The galley where pots boiled away and the cook screamed obscenities. Most importantly, the turlet. It had a lever that made the bottom pivot out straight into the ocean. That'll be all for now, Cal.
We'll be shipping off any time now. Ask for me if you need anything. I'm not hard to find.
4 deep bellows from the ship's horn reverberated through. The gargantuan mass of the ship started to move like a ancient creature awakening from its slumber.
Right on time. If my services are not needed, please excuse me. Always work to be done. Wouldn't have it any other way.
I watched how things are done on a ship this size. Interviewed a few shipmates as they worked. Hard to do it this way. Late into the evening is when things went awry.
Calhoun's gone mad.
We ran towards the commotion. The wheelhouse door laid ajar, with a disheveled Captain Duff turning switches and levers.
We're circling around, all eyes on the water. Get the life preservers. Unhitch the lifeboat.
We circled for over an hour. Nothing. Nothing at all but the phantasmal waves of the nighttime sea.
P was standing there with an axe raised over his head, about to come down on the figurehead. And then he just wasn't. I didn't even see him go overboard, but he must have.
At the bow laid an axe, the figurehead missing the tip of his left pointed ear. Looks like he got a whack of the axe in and tumbled over.
My lad.
Our large jug uncorked, and a tray of shooters were presented to the men. I drank the shot of rotgut as they all threw their glasses to the ground, like some kind of grieving ritual. I investigated the ship. 1 crate was missing, and another was moved, halfway to the doors of the loading bay. Things don't just disappear, not men or crates, but someone you trust at the doors of the loading bay. I'll take guard duty inside where the crates are. Let's see Fish Face try something while I'm in there. I paced back and forth for hours. The rest of the night was uneventful. No more merchandise went missing. At sunrise, I went to talk with the captain. He was pensively puffing on his pipe. Say, Cap, how does someone as skillful as Calhoun just fall overboard?
When the sea wants you, the sea will have you, lad. No different than what happened to Muckin. May yet happen to me.
He puffed on his pipe even harder, walking back to the wheelhouse. I rustled up some bread and a small jar of olives from the galley. Not quite sardines, but yeah, it'll do it. I went back to my bunk and slept for 3 hours. I woke up nauseous from the swaying of the boat and chewed some of the salted squid. My queasiness subsided, just like Captain Duff said it would. I interviewed more men today. I wrote down their names and duration of employment, so I have my own confirmed manifest. Never rely on paperwork other than your own. The sun sets and the ghostly apparition of a full moon lights up the sky. This is the kind of night where the foul and wicked play. Or another way to put it, when cases get solved. Hey, Cap, I'm not feeling too good. I'm gonna take a nap.
Feel better, mate.
I found a crate in the cargo bay with a loose lid. Closing it behind me, I buried myself in the straw stuffing. 8 hours without a smoke. That'll be the worst of it. 4 hours had passed. My chiropractor is gonna be able to take a trip to Tahiti when he's done billing me. Pipe, tobacco, and salt squid fills my nostrils. I could make out the pulley on the ceiling, rocking and giving off smoke from the friction. I slowly lifted off the top of the crate, trying not to make a sound. There was Captain Duff, slowly pushing the crate to the now open loading doors.
Their share. Their share. Their share.
With each push, the dolly crate moved about 6 inches. He was outside the door now, and close to the water's edge. With a final grand push, the crate went over the side of the boat and into the ocean.
Their share. Their share. Their share.
He went back to the stack and dropped another crate into the dolly. This was not like the other ones. It shook and rocked like there was a rabid animal inside. I unholstered my .38. That's enough, Captain Duff.
Their share.
I've seen people act like this at the funny farm. Mr. Dune, put your hands up. The banging in the crate was getting weaker. I tackled him to the floor and cuffed his hands behind his back. Jutting my shoulder into the wood slats, I revealed the contents. It was Calhoun, bound and gagged. I pulled a balled-up oily rag from his mouth.
Please, Walter.
You just hang in there, sailor. Duff was still chanting his mantra while his head was down on the deck. Putting an end to this. I grabbed an axe off the wall and ran towards the bow. I stood behind the marred figurehead and raised the axe above my head.
Please don't! Please, stop.
Our pal Lucifer here is hollow. It was one of the first things I checked. You were lying, but I haven't figured out why until now. Calhoun was on a wild goose chase for ghosts and goblins. But you couldn't let him uncover your secret.
They need to stay at sea. They need to stay on this boat.
I already know. I need to hear you say it.
My father. He kept promising to hand off this business to me and my brother. But he refused to retire. He was frail and becoming senile. He was getting people hurt.
And your brother?
We were supposed to split the business 50-50. We were raking in money faster than we could spend it. It still wasn't enough for him. He was skimming profits, stealing from the crew. I gave them both my best years.
There's courts for these type of things, Duffel. What you did was unnatural. They were your family.
Please believe me, I'd take it all back if I could. I think about it every day, but I cannot undo what I've done. The missing crates, all the merchandise I dumped overboard. I can barely remember doing it. It's like I'm not in control. There's a curse, Canary, but it's on my head and my head alone. Those are my father's and my brother's shares. They haunt me everlasting. An unpayable debt. This is my atonement.
You have been eaten up with guilt for so long that you can't live with it. You wanted me to catch you. You turn a galver of gold and it makes you sick. Yeah, the feeling's mutual.
Most of us knew you were dumping the crates, Cap. We tried our best to cover it up. You always paid us generously and took care of us. If you were going off your rocker, we agreed to keep things sailing as long as we could. Calhoun, he's as straight as an arrow. He would never deal in lies and let us claim those missing crates on insurance. You killed your family. You tried to kill Calhoun in one of your fits. This ends now. We will not be part of murder.
Captain Duffel Dune was held in a jail cell with a ship. The police were waiting for us back at the dock. You're gonna need a saw. The remains of his father and brother are in that devil's figurehead. He killed them both. They took the disgraced captain off the ship and put him in the back of a squad car. Listen, Cal, if you and the crew got any money saved, well, you guys are a well-oiled machine. New ship might not be as grand as the SS Allspice, but maybe that's for the better.
I'm already thinking 2 steps ahead of you, Canary. Thanks for everything.
Good luck, Captain Calhoun. I'm just glad to have my feet on solid ground again. I'm still chewing on that sack of squid pots. Don't suppose I'll ever find this stuff again. I'm sure it's not great for the old ticker anyway. Healthy living from here on out.
Voice acted by, in order of appearance, J. Henry as Canary P.I, Julian Gilas as Duffel Dune, Scott R. McKinley as Calhoun, Aidan Hughes as Deckhand. Written, directed, and edited by J. Henry. Music by Pedro Esparza, Vivek Abhishek, Kevin MacLeod. Follow us at twitter.com/RP CanaryP.I. This concludes the broadcast.